the suspense. Is he going to turn up on time or near time? Are you going to be able to hear him when he does turn up? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. I am going to just babble on until someone confirms one way or t'other. And I suppose while I do that, I should really clean my glasses so I can read the chat. And hopefully read you telling me that you can indeed hear and see me. Organised as always, prepared absolutely zero. Literally turned the camera on 30 seconds ago. Hopefully all my settings have been saved since last week's stream and you can see everything. Have not gone to the pub, Alex. I'm here. I'm wondering how many people we're going to get in tonight. If you're in the UK, well, England and Wales, I think it is. They are allowed to go to the pub tonight, so I'm wondering if my captive audience has now gone and left me, if we're just going to have Irish and Scottish people in the chat tonight. You can hear me and you can see me. Excellent. Right, let's do a bit of a roll call, see if we can see who's in tonight. I saw this earlier, actually. We've got Andy's Fish Room, friend of the channel. I've lost his last sticker. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I've lost it now. It'll be around somewhere. But he is in hospital, in a good way, waiting for his latest offspring to make an arrival. So hopefully we can all cross our fingers and give you all the best, Andy, if you're watching this in the replay. Who else have we got? Yes, Noodle Sandwich. Lewis, thank you very much for posting pictures in the Discord. If you can put a link to the Discord in the chat, because I can never remember what the bloody link is. You can join the Discord and we can do all the Discordy things during the week and on and on. Everyone else, Rocky, Carrie's here, Simon, Courtney, Welsh Weeks. I would implore you all to go and check out Welsh Weeks on Instagram, is it? Feel free to post a link to your Instagram. He's the next George Farmer, basically. Some absolutely fantastic fish tanks this guy is rocking. He keeps sending me pictures and making me jealous. Carrie's here, Ads, Urban, Alex Davison fills in, Fishman Aquatics, I'm assuming that's you, Callum. Jennifer, the famous Jennifer. We'll talk about that in a little while. Danny Ken Aquatics, hello there, sir. How are you doing tonight? Or this morning, if you're in the US, or this afternoon, or whatever it is. Andy's Fish Room, good luck, hope everything goes well. Yes, indeed, good luck, Andy. Sorry, I was in the middle of reading something there and got completely distracted. Welcome to the stream where a man sits in front of camera and reads out what everyone types. That's not a test. Don't try and catch me out like you did before. Simon, you're definitely making a run for top mod. Welcome to the Friday Night Live. Please remember to smash the like button and head over to aquariumadventures.co.uk to get all your fishy supplies. Well, some of your fishy supplies. Was I late? Was I technically late? I mean, yeah, I suppose it was. It was like 3 minutes past 9, wasn't it? Sorry. Yes, sorry about that, Fishman Aquatics. I was a little bit late. Alison Dean, Scott's in, Kaylee's in, obviously ready for a win tonight. It's been a few weeks. I'm beginning to get worried about you, Kaylee. Not won anything for a while. Aquarium Shed's in, Mark Astley, Welsh Weeks we've seen, SL30 Aquatics, Lee Kinsey's back again. How you doing, Lee? Anita Muffet. That sounds like one of those things that you get me to say that sounds dirty, but that's probably your name and that's quite offensive. I apologise. I take that back. Ian's in. Kez Katz, Rob Crossland, Welsh Weeks. I'm picking on you tonight, Welsh Weeks. I keep saying it. Steve's in, Gary's in. Oh, it's Danny today, not Ken. Oh, was that Facebook you were sending me all these pictures on then? Fair enough. Yes, Jennifer, and she got a Fishman Aquatics t-shirt she posted in the group tonight. Excellent. So everyone's here. We've got man says 45 people in. That's not bad. That's pretty good. 46. I'll just keep sitting here until it goes up. 46 people in. That's pretty good considering the pubs are open. So, I guess we should start with Jennifer. If you haven't seen it already, we've got our chief moderator, Jennifer Shepherd. You'll see her in the chat there. She did a little stint on the Fishman Aquatics YouTube channel. And I'm glad you did that rather than on my YouTube channel, because I would have been completely lost. So it was a bit of it started as an overview of water chemistry or chemistry for the newbie, trying to understand what you need to know when you're starting out in the hobby from a chemistry point of view. And I thought I knew what I talk about most of the time. And it really just exposed me to the fact that I don't really know what I'm on about most of the time. So I would implore you all to go and have a quick look at that. I think it was only about 40 minutes or so, something like that. It's a run through with Reese from Fishman Aquatics interviewing Jennifer on water chemistry and various other. I thought he was a bit harsh with you sometimes, saying, "So, Jennifer, pH, what does that stand for? Go!" I mean, obviously you do know these things, but it was quite a funny watch. Sometimes it made me laugh a little bit, like you were getting an exam in chemistry. Pardon me. So I would definitely go and check that out. It was very interesting. It showed you that it's really quite simple when you break it down to its component parts. And it's definitely going to help me. I think I'm going to be able to use that in the future when I'm worrying about what's going on in the tank. You can find out a little bit more. So it started off with the kind of first half hour being the general, what is pH? Why does it matter? And then a little bit more in depth about understanding how the relationships between the different components in the water chemistry. So very useful. I'm not going to try and just repeat it off the top of my head because I can't do that kind of thing. But it was well worth a watch. So definitely go and have that in your queue or your watch list or whatever it is. Right. I did see a question there from someone. Tonight we're on Heineken, only for the first one, because they only had 2 of these. Still not sponsored. Question from Brummy PC Gamer. Let's have a look. Ooh. Oh, thanks, Scott, for sticking in the Discord server link. What are the best fish to breed with parrot fish? I don't know. So, parrot fish, in my experience, of which I have very little, are often used, because they aren't the ones that are infertile 9 times out of 10. We're getting into American cichlid breeding and hybrid breeding. I believe flower horns are used quite a lot in things like... I believe parrotfish are used quite a lot in flower horn breeding to set lines and things like that, but I'm afraid I really don't know very much about it. My only experience is that 9 times out of 10 all your eggs will be infertile and they don't lay easily, or they don't breed easily. So, sorry, I would go and check out another channel like maybe Big Fish Lad or something like that, who's more dedicated to the cichlid side of things and the hybrid side of things. You might know a bit more about that, or maybe your Scott over at King and Queen Cichlids, maybe. Very knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. All hail our chief moderator, says Simon, yes. Yeah, Brummy PC Gamer. No, eggs don't hatch with told flower horns, but so expensive. There you go. I mean, flower horns can be expensive, especially for good ones. I think if it's kind of trial and error thing that you're doing for a breeding project, you don't necessarily have to get a grade A flower horn to try your hand at breeding. Certainly my flower horn Humphrey, he was reasonably expensive, but I think I got a very good deal on him. £150 for one flower horn. That's not that expensive for a flower horn, but yes, it is expensive for a fish, I guess. Especially when you're used to your neon tetras for £1.50 or whatever it is. You buy a ticket, take a chance, I guess. If you want to be into that kind of thing, you're going to have to spend a bit of money. Jennifer there, so if you don't go and watch that video, the the bottom line is pH is the one that's most important. Keep an eye on your pH and everything else will keep an eye on itself. Shaddix, I've got a question. If KH is a pH buffer, why with a KH of 6 do we get a pH swing when adding CO2? Oh, I'm going to have to break that one down. If KH is a pH, this is like a tongue twister. If KH is like a pH buffer, I don't think KH is necessarily a pH buffer, but if your KH is too high or too low, it will obviously affect how easily your pH might swing, rather than making it swing itself. Again, Jennifer, jump in anytime you want and sort me out and get me out of this hole where I'm trying to dig myself a water chemistry sized grave. Why with a KH of 6 would we get a pH swing when adding CO2? Why with it? So all these things are important. So when you do get into the finer detail of trying to dial in CO2, yes, you will want to keep an eye on your pH and your KH and your GH. So KH, calcium or carbonate hardness, GH, general hardness, pH, potential hardness, is it? I can never remember. Potential hydrogens. Oh, now I feel like I'm testing myself. So short answer is I don't know. If KH is a pH buffer, so fundamentally I don't know that is exactly right, although you probably could use KH as a pH buffer by setting it correctly. Why with a KH of 6? So KH of 6, that's quite high. Do we get a pH swing when adding CO2? No, I'd have to defer to someone like Jennifer to answer that one, but she probably has answered. Let me scroll down a little bit. Oh, look at this fancy picture. What's this meant to be? Scott and Simon fighting it out for who can be the best mod here. I think that's meant to be it's probably my aspect ratio on my screen's making that not work properly. But hit the subscribe button. Do that anyway, yes. Noodle sandwich. I had a power cut today. When the power came back on, my filter automatically kicked in at full speed and gave my Tetras a tough time, but all survived their ordeal. Yeah, luckily if it's only a power cut and it's not a long-term thing, that's usually not a big deal. What I've seen before or heard a lot about is if you have a power cut and the power's out for a while, i.e. a day or two, everything in your filter starts to rot, and then when it does kick back on, you just spew a filter full of death back into your tank, and it can absolutely stink. And that's probably the least of your worries. It can absolutely stink and it can absolutely kill everything in your tank. So there's a quick tip for you. If you ever do have a power cut for a while, clean your filter before you put it back on again. Well, there's Jennifer. I should really just read ahead before trying to embarrass myself. It's because you're adding carbonic acid, basically. You need more buffering, so increase your KH. So increase your KH to stop the pH swing, because the higher the KH, the less able your pH is to swing. Is that where we're going with that one? This is tough work already. Let me have some more beer. Then I can blame drunkenness for why I can't answer these questions. Jab's in saying, hello, a little late, but earlier this time. That's alright, I was late as well. Since adding CO2, I get about 1 pH drop during the day, 7.2 at night, 6.2 near the end when the CO turns off. I mean, that is quite a lot, but pH will naturally move during the day. Maybe not a whole degree, but I don't think that's that unusual necessarily. So, let me find a pen so we can write down some suggested topics if anyone thinks of any. I've got my pen, I've got me bit of paper for scribbling. I had one topic which I thought about earlier, and it was about live streams. So you'll notice this is titled, in fact, what is this titled? Friday Night Live Fishy Business number 15. Which means we've been doing this for 15 weeks in a row now, which is quite good. Usually when I start live streaming, I manage to make it about 3 weeks and then we give up. But I thought I'd try and give it a bit of a go. Let me write this down or I'll forget it. So we've been doing 15 weeks in a row, and even people now, I'm going on other channels where people are talking about me going, oh yeah, Graham does this live stream every Friday. I don't know if I want to necessarily lock myself into being the guy that does the live streams every Friday, because I've got a really bad cough. No, not because I've got a cough. It seems to be killing my channel doing live streams, so I'm wondering whether or not necessarily to knock it on the head, because I do like doing the live streams, but I'm wondering whether we find some alternative solution to the live streams. Maybe do live streams on a different platform, on a different channel. I don't... To explain, generally, before I started doing live streams, if I released a video, I could kind of expect it to kind of hit 1,000 views in a day, in 24 hours. And that got to the point of that being kind of my average. My last half dozen or dozen videos, I've struggled to get even half that. And it's although I do enjoy the live streams, it's the videos that I not concentrate on, but it's the videos that I like making. They're the hobby part, where I can sit and do the filming, I can do the editing, I can do the uploading, and then keep the catalogue. Whereas live streams are just a bit of a laugh, something to do on a Friday night while we're all locked up. But if they're getting to the point where they're detrimental to the channel, I was even growing before the live streams. I think I was growing at 350 subscribers a month, and that's down to about 200 subscribers a month. Not that I can really care about these numbers, but it's a bit disheartening when you see those things and you're like, why is that going down? And the only thing I can think of is it's because of the live streams, because they are the ones that have... that's the one thing that has changed recently, and I don't know what to do. So I'm reaching out for suggestions. I've talked to a few people who are bigger in the game and in the industry about how they use their live streams and what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So I just thought I'd mention it, because I know we've mentioned in previous ones about having the Discord server up and running and having chats there, or having maybe just making... I really don't want to make lives for members only or anything like that, because having more people here asking more questions gets me out of a hole, because I usually don't prepare for any of this. And I do like doing them. We've had a laugh, I think. So I'll just put that out there, that it's a thing that's in the back of my mind. I don't really know how to deal with it yet, but we'll see what's going on. So, and on the same breath as that, we've had a few people who started new channels and making new channels. Not only Fishman Aquatics and other people. I really enjoy helping people with their channels and getting them started and giving them some tips. But now I just feel like a complete fraud, because my channel's on a nosedive all the way down. Maybe I need to make another video about Joey and saying why he's terrible, but I don't even want to do that anymore. So it's just another bone of contention, something to think about. So if anyone has any suggestions about any of these things, if you like the live streams, give me a like. And that's the thing, the live streams are proving popular. I generally get more likes and things on the live streams than I do viewers, and people do seem to stay for quite a while. I think the community thing is going well. We've got the same names showing up over and over. So I'm obviously not alienating everyone. So hopefully we can find a way to keep them going, but if they're going to just kill everything else, that would suck. Anyway, we'll move on from that. So where I was going with that is, that's one thing to talk about. What else do you want to talk about tonight? Because other than trying to embarrass Jennifer as much as possible and playing some of that video, I've not really got anything prepared. Oh, I do have some house news. Maybe we can talk about that in a while. Not that it'll be interesting for any of you. It's interesting for me, though. Anyway, let's go back and have a look and see if anyone has mentioned anything that they might like to talk about tonight. I didn't. Where did I get to there? So, photosynthesis uses up calcium, so your hardness drops by the end of the day. There you go. That's an explanation for you. Graham, how's your new heater gone? Oh, there's one we can talk about. Or is it gone? It's not gone yet, but it will be soon. Graham made notes. I didn't make notes. How many plants make a heavily planted tank? Now, there's a question for you. Well, do you know what? That's something I've asked myself, because when I first planted my discus tank, I think I spent about 150 quid's worth of aquarium gardens on plant packs and things. And then when I first stuck CO2 in it, everyone mocked me for saying, why are you putting CO2 on such a sparsely planted tank? I thought, sparsely planted? It's got loads of plants in there. I think what constitutes a heavily planted tank is when your fish are pushed up against the front glass because there's no room to swim, because all it is plants. I think it's subjective. It depends who you're speaking to about what's heavily planted. I would call anything heavily planted is when your first initial glance at it, you go, oh, lots of plants. It's not, I don't think there's a ratio. Well, maybe there is, and it's an aquascaping thing, and I don't know. But I read George Farmer's book, and there's no, like, formula for what's heavily planted. So yeah, it's one of those questions that I don't really know the answer, but I would say if the majority of your tank, if it's obscured by plants, i.e. you can't see all the way through it because there's quite a wall of plants, that's a heavily planted tank. And even then though, that's a strange definition, because I've got a tank in the fish room that just has one big flower pot in the middle of the tank, no substrate, no nothing else. But it's got that water sprite in it, so it's just gone massively exploded all over the tank, and it's like coming out the sides, it's going everywhere. Technically, that's a heavily planted tank, but it's only got one plant, so do you need to have multiple types of plant to have a heavily planted tank? Or do you just need to have one big massive plant? Or, I don't know. Who knows? As Simon says, it's as many as you can afford fit in your tank without ruining it. There isn't a definitive or a definite number. Yeah, let's go with that. Callum says, just go live on our channel with Reese and kill us instead. Well, maybe that's it. We just do live somewhere else or somehow else. And this isn't necessarily, it's not a financial decision. I don't make much money from YouTube. I don't make much money from doing live streams. Some of you have very kindly made super chats and things like that, and every little helps. You guys have helped pay for most of this lens, for instance. The ad revenue on YouTube videos, it's like 200 quid a month, if that, maybe a bit more sometimes. If I wanted to do this to make money, I would just work an extra couple hours at my proper job. This is for fun, but it kind of takes the fun out of it when it's you're not being not rewarded. Reward is the wrong thing. The feedback you're getting is that you're doing something wrong because all the graphs are going down and all the numbers are going down. But yeah, I'm kind of half a mind to say, sod it, I enjoy doing this, I'll just keep doing it like this anyway. So you never know, I might just do that. So Shadex is saying, the fish are okay, but I read conflicting forums which say pH shouldn't drop and some say it should. Very confusing for a noob. Yeah, there's nothing that isn't confusing in this bleeding hobby. I would take advice from Jennifer, because she knows her stuff, a bona fide chemist. But it's my understanding that pH will change throughout the day, whether you've got CO2 or not. It's just that that's part of what's going on in that daily cycle within the water. How to work out how much plant feed to add, says Ian. Yes, so some of them will say, if it's a heavily planted tank, do this, that and the other. I think you're going to have to take a punt and you decide whether or not it's heavily planted. Or join the Discord, there you go. Join the Discord server, post some pictures, and we'll do a bit of a poll and see whether we think it's heavily planted or not. But what I was going to say is, take a punt. If you decide it's heavily planted, feed with the heavily planted instructions and see what happens, because you'll very quickly, within a couple of weeks, notice that you either got that sweet spot or everything's gone wrong and things are going out of whack and you're getting algae and you're getting all this kind of stuff. Kiss says, I enjoy all your content, particularly the live streams. Well, thank you. That's a ringing endorsement, because that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. It's, if you like the live streams, then I also like them, so we'll keep doing them. We might have to tweak them somehow, but yeah, there we go. Jab says, I've got one for a conversation. My fish tank, which is overstocked with 4 goldfish and 200 litres, has the same nitrates as my 40 litre shrimp tank, which is fully planted. How, and any ideas why? Oh, so long question, long answer short. No, I don't have any idea why that would be. I have a similar thing that goes on in here. And the only real difference is that this tank here gets the lights from the window, whereas that tank there doesn't. But the nitrates in that one go completely mental, and the nitrates in that one barely register. Both got the exact same filter, well, not exact same filters, but very similar hang-on back filters with the same amount of media in them. They get the same water change regime, similar stocking levels, white clouds and celestial perdanios. It's something I've been trying to work out as well, going, why on earth would that happen? Obviously, the waste that goldfish produce and shrimp produce is going to be different, but lots of, well, I was going to say lots of shrimp could probably match a few goldfish, but goldfish are particularly heavy poopers. And that pooping can, I need to stop saying pooping, that waste that the fish produces, it has to go through that nitrogen cycle, so it's getting turned into, the ammonia is getting turned into nitrite, which is getting turned into nitrate, and if there's more ammonia to process, there'll be more nitrate. But that's kind of the opposite of what you're saying there, because if you've got more in your shrimp tank, why is that going on? So, I don't know, you've got a bit of an anomaly. It shouldn't be that way unless you're not changing water the same rate on both of them, because it's, or your filtration's at different levels, or there could be lots of reasons, but yeah, I don't know which one it is. Pardon me. So, to answer your question, I have no idea why. Yes, Courtney, YouTube is a cock sometimes. I think they just like to mess with you every now and again. Lee says, could do one a month and see if that changes anything. I could, but I do enjoy doing them every week. And I think if we change it back down to one a month, I'll just find reasons not to do it. So I'm kind of trying to keep it going as much as possible, or not. I think if we do it once a month, well, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe every other week, something like that. I'm going to, at the moment, I've got an idea to keep it going as is, or not at all. I don't think the middle ground is going to make a difference. I want to start some YouTube beef reviews. Well, do you know what? That Fishman Aquatics channel, they're stealing all my ideas now. So I want you all to go over there and give them a piece of your mind and tell them to start, just pack it in, basically, because it's not on. Maybe I'll make a we need to talk about Fishman Aquatics video. That'll get it going. That's completely made up, by the way. Don't do that. I know some people take everything literally. Got to keep the live streams going, mate. Good. Hopefully we can do. I don't know why Welsh Weeks and Sean's messages are getting... Fast growing stems are good to put in a new planting tank. They are good. They can definitely... Things like Water Sprite, things like... thingy. But I'm always got Sessiflora. Brilliant for soaking up all kinds of nasties. Sean says, stop talking about yourself and consider talking about a certain topic about the hobby. Yes, sir. I'd class mine as quite heavily planted, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, fast-growing plants to help in my battle against the algae gremlins. Fast-growing plants are brilliant at all kinds of things. New tanks, algae problems, they're just an absolute... my favourites are Java Moss, Sessiflora, Limnophilia Sessiflora. Sounds like I'm casting a spell sometimes. And Water Sprite. I think they're great plants, as well as Dwarf water lettuce. They're really good at soaking up nasties as well. Dan's Aquarium says, hi. Hi, Dan. How are you? Best aquarium background colour. Oh, there's a subjective one. I would say in 99% of cases black, because it makes most fish colours pop. But I do know that there are outliers. So certainly in the discus hobby, for instance, if you have a really dark background or substrate, it can make some discus, mostly pigeon blood varieties, pepper. It can make fish darker in general. So people will quite often, especially in breeding tanks, will have bright white backgrounds or no backgrounds at all. But my favourite, especially for a planted tank, a nice display tank, is a good background. Gives you that feeling of a blank canvas that you can just get started from nothing and build out from there. Makes it look really nice, in my opinion. Wendy's just purchased a Zis filter. Has anyone used it? Is it any good? So the Zis filter, if I am getting this correct, that's the one with the K1 media inside it. So it's like a sponge filter and internal filter and canister filter with K1 media, which is the media that just rotates. I think Aquarium Co-op, for instance, they've bought it out for themselves and branded it as their own filter as well. I like them. I don't have one. I like the idea. It reminds me very much of the homemade one. So I've probably made some videos about the homemade ones where you get a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi or whatever, Coke, and you run air in it, fill it full of K1, and it bubbles through and comes through. It was more of a decoration than it was a filter, if I'm completely honest. But I know the Zis ones are a little bit different in that they have a proper sponge filter element as well as the K1 element. And if you don't know, K1 is just a filter media, very popular in ponds and things like that. Usually used in a lot higher volume, so a lot more than you would fit in a little filter like that. And it's good because it's kind of self-cleaning and self-regulating, because it's always moving and used in a moving bed filter usually. It's bashing into itself constantly and knocking off any old gunk, and it's just keeping the live bacteria on that filter media all the time. So the ideas sound, personally I think there might be an element of smoke and mirrors in something that size. I'm not sure the K1's doing all that much, but it's as big as a normal sponge filter, and normal sponge filters are pretty good, so the K1's not hurting. And they seem well made, and everyone that I know that has one has raved about it, so I can't say it's a bad thing. Number 2, apologies. So I wouldn't chuck it in the bin or anything, Wendy. It's a perfectly good and serviceable filter. I will ask you in a few months whether you still like it. Is it heavily planted if it's enough to take out most of the nitrates? That could be the definition, Urban. I think that might be right. Mario's Christu. Hey man, like your channel. I'm new to the discus hobby. Any tips on daily behaviour to watch out on the fish? Oh, everything. Discus are just fantastic. Why would you not want to watch them out all the time? So the kind of early warning signs that I look for are things like, so really early warning signs is flicking, just odd behaviour. So you won't get used to that until you've had your fish a while and know what normal is. But sometimes you might see them darting more than often, sometimes swimming around erratically. Sometimes you'll see extra fighting, which can, if you don't have enough discus, for instance, again, we're going to get very discus specific here, but if you don't have enough discus, they might constantly be battling for who's top dog and who gets what bit of the tank and that kind of thing. Whereas if you have enough, that aggression is spread out, and the aggression can lead to stress, which can lead to them releasing stress hormones, and all the fish start to go downhill a little bit. The stress can cause illnesses or make them more susceptible to future illnesses. So lots of fighting, that might be something to look out for. Individual fish, if they're flicking, so if you see their fins when they're just kind of doing that, or their gills, if they're rubbing, if they go dark in colour, if their fins go clamped, so rather than being proud and high, they clamp down on their heads, on their bodies. and general darkening of colour for sustained periods of time, they're all things that say something's happening, and that something could be all manner of things. But that might be a good video. I'm going to write that down. I have a good video idea of things to look out for. But my main advice would be get used to your fish so as you can see when something changes, because there's no universal, well, if your fish does this, that means they've got that. What you generally want to look out for is, my fish normally do this, but now they're doing that. That's when you know something's gone wrong. Let me just make a note for a potential future video idea. I've also been getting a lot of questions this week about how I shoot my videos, so I might make a how to photograph or how to video your fish. Mind you, after my last video, which I realised was 90% of it was out of focus, I don't know if I'm the best person to do that. So I hope that answers some of your question, Myros. By all means, join Discord, join the Facebook group, and continue to quiz us over there, and we'll give you some more in-depth answers. Ian likes black and blue backgrounds. A blue background looks really nice sometimes, actually. You're quite right. I saw one, what was it? I think it was a rainbow fish tank that had a red background, and that looked really nice. But they did have a lot of red plants, so I don't know if it was just to supplement that and make it look more red. Pardon me. Oh, Noodle Sandwich has given us a super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Or is that a super sticker? I can never tell. That's enough for a pot noodle, yeah. In fact, that's probably enough for several pot noodles. Might finally get that noodle sandwich going to go. According to Google, a heavily planted tank refers to what the plants are doing for your tank to cover nitrates. Yeah, well, that does make sense. Another YouTuber I watch has mentioned in his live streams that if you release videos that are all vastly different lengths, then it can screw up the algorithm. Yeah, I have heard that before, but I've also been told that that's nonsense, and that isn't something that happens because YouTube is clever enough to know that if you're producing shorts, for instance, that they're all going to be under a minute, and they shouldn't be competing against your normal 10-minute videos, which shouldn't compete against your 1-hour live streams. And I think YouTube themselves made a video to say, no, that's not true. It doesn't work like that. But, you know, it does kind of feel like that a little bit. Where did we get to there? Sorry. What's the best aquarium plant? Oh, so my favourite is probably water sprite or Limnophilia sessiflora, because I just like saying it. Limnophilia sessiflora. But I do like water sprite just for how quickly it grows, and it gives you that instant jungle, if you like. I really like is it Crispulata? Crispulata balancea, the kind of bubbly leaves, long leaves. That looks really nice as well. I'm a big fan of things like, what do you call them? Anubias, Amazon swords. I know I now mentioned lots of them, so they can't all be my favourite, but you know, yeah, they're my favourites. Of them, what the best is, probably something fast growing like Limnophilia sessiflora or water sprite, because it can give you an impact in an aquascape and say boom, a big bit of green or something like that, but it can also do a job and get rid of some nitrates and things like that. Noodle Sandwiches just super chatted £1.99. Thank you very much. Not required, but always appreciated. Ollie, do you know any fish shops in Sheffield that sell decent sized fish, i.e. the parrot fish? Not necessarily. I know that. So the majority of fish shops, and I guess Fishman Aquatics will back me up here or tell me I'm wrong. The majority of fish that are bought through wholesalers and importers are young fish. So it costs quite a lot to grow on a fish. And it's unusual to find adult fish unless they have been rehomed or things like that. I know Elm Lane Aquatics used to, because it's been way over a year, if not two, since I've actually been there, used to do a lot of, not rescues as such, but they would take fish in from people who they'd outgrown their tank or whatever. So they would quite often have fully grown Oscars. It was mainly chichlids that they would have that were decent sizes. I did see parrotfish in there a few times, but I just don't know what it's like anymore because it's been so long since I've been there. But the majority of shops would be younger fish and smaller fish. SL30 Aquatics, I'm definitely an inspiration in this game. I don't think anyone who has a channel would not want to help because your growth is slowing down. Not fanboying, just saying, oh dear. Thank you very much again, but yeah, it makes me squirm when people say nice things like that about me because I'm literally just here mumbling on a Friday night incoherently sometimes. I don't think... I'm certainly not any cleverer than any other fish keepers. I'm certainly not any better at keeping fish. I think I just have probably a better wife that lets me keep lots of tanks. And I'm very much an enthusiastic amateur learning along with everyone else. And I like the fact that we have this little community here and we can all ask questions and learn things together. Alright, we're getting into 45 minutes long. We haven't done a giveaway yet. Kaylee will be getting bored. So if I haven't done it in the next 5 minutes, remind me, but I'm going to try and run through all the rest of the comments. Phil says, I need someone to send me these emojis to produce some stickers. I can sort you out with that one. Any suggestions on nice, not green plants? Are red the other option? The only other option, I guess. Not the only other option, but they are generally what you get if you don't go for green. I've never seen blue plants, for instance, or anything else, but I have seen some purples or variations on red that could be deeper reds. There are some that are so green that they're almost black. Some crypts are really good for that because depending on the way the light hits them, they can look very, very different colours. But yeah, I don't have much experience because they're usually quite hard to keep, the ones that aren't green. So I've got my experience is mostly in killing them. Ian's Anubias Nana are my favourite. Yes, I do like an Anubias. Chow with Lau. Is that right? Chow with Low? Chow with Low? Chow with Lau. It's got to be. Why would you rhyme that with not that? Have you found out if the heater was a real Nicrew yet? So it was a real Nicrew in as much as... just to step back for a moment, this was my latest video released, was about a Nicrew heater that had been put onto by Josh Fish the Gram. And my love of all things Nicrew, because I have a fish room full of Nicrew lights. I now have a couple of the Nicrew air pumps because I think they're fantastic as well. I'm just kind of slowly working my way through the Nicrew range, and I needed some heaters because in moving things around in my fish room, I think I smashed about 4, maybe even 5 of the normal glass heaters within the space of 2 or 3 days. So I thought, right, I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of heater guards because I thought that's a nice cheap option, is to buy some nice cheap glass heaters and then buy some cheap heater guards. I generally go for cheapest chips because I'm a skinflint, but also because I've been burned a few times. Not literally. I've been burned a few times with heaters sticking on or breaking in boiling fish tanks, so I always run my heaters through heating controllers. So you can get a nice cheap one, safe in the knowledge that it's not going to boil your tank. Get some of them, get some heater guards, nice solution. Or some of those LED ones that you see sometimes, because they are reasonably cheap. And then the titanium ones are the next one up, which are a little bit more expensive. And your big name brands that come with a heater guard, like your Fluvels and your Eheims. I don't really want to spend all that money on them. Mainly because I'm cheap. I have to be completely honest. I'm just being a skinflint. So I saw this Nicrew heater and it came with its own heater guard integrated. It was only like 15 quid or something like that. It had the setting outside the tank, which is fantastic because quite often I will move fish around And it's so much easier to be able to switch a heater off or to change the temperature of a heater from outside without having to get in and make it all wet. That might be a bit of a nonsense because 9 times out of 10 I'm always in the tanks anyway, but it seemed like a good idea, so I got that. And it was crap. Mine would not stick to temperature. It had a digital display and it was just bouncing around from kind of 23 degrees to 28 degrees. I couldn't decide what temperature it was. It was switching on, switching off. So Josh as well, the Fisher had bought one at the same time. And he was I could tell the way he was typing, mine's fine, mine's working perfectly. But he did message me a couple of hours earlier going, yeah, mine's all over the place as well. So the thing about it being a real night crew or not was that it came in this box. Can you see if you can see that? Which, if you look at it, doesn't actually say night crew anywhere. It just says automatic temperature heater. And then there's a sticker, or there was a sticker on the front of it that said night crew. So it looks like it's just a kind of white box, plain box, brandless heater that someone's made in China. Night crew have licensed it or bought a bunch of them. I think this is a bit of a duffer for them, if I'm completely honest. The reviews on Amazon didn't look great, and I noticed that you can't actually buy them anymore. Or they've only got the really small ones left, so I think they just had a load, had a big stock, stuck them all on Amazon. Yeah, so mine is not currently plugged in. I was going to send it back, but I couldn't find the box, but I only just found the box a bit earlier. So I'll see if I've still got all the bits and bobs so I can send it back and say, no, you can keep your piece of crap. I don't want it. Thank you very much. Such a good idea. Such a bad implementation, basically. Interesting topic. Oh, Lee, that's a proud statement to make. Testing water in planted tanks. Is it important? I tested the water in my tanks about 6 months ago. I do 50% water change per week and fertilise every day and not had any issues. I kind of have two feelings about that particular question. That's fine if you've got your routine and you've stuck to it for months. There's no reason why anything should change. And you can just keep going along and you'll notice the change. If you know your fish, you'll notice any changes in them and you can sort it out that way. The thing is, you always hear people saying, oh, I've been doing this for years and never had a problem. There are just as many out there who's saying, I don't know what's going wrong. My water's perfect and everything's dead. And their water's not perfect. They just assume it is because it's always been perfect, so why wouldn't it be perfect today? Tanks crash. Cycles crash. Fish grow. Plants change. People do things like they'll trim all their plants and then wonder why their nitrates have spiked because their plants aren't as big, so they're not consuming as many nitrates. It's not necessary to test your water constantly. I quite enjoy testing water because it makes me feel like a chemist. It makes me feel like I've got a lab coat on and got my little vials out and my test tubes and I'm dripping bits of solutions into another and shaking them around, and it's fun. Like, sometimes I'll get the kids involved, I'll do things like that, so I don't mind testing tanks, but I can see why it might be a chore for many people. Also, with the whole trying to get the pet shop license, you need to keep logs of all your tank parameters and all that for a long time, so it's important to do that anyway. But yeah, you don't need to necessarily be testing it every week at every water change, but I would very much suggest that you do it every now and again, just to make sure, just so as you can do a bit of trend analysis yourself to say, oh, well, okay, I've only tested it once since last month, but I've had a 5% swing here, and if the next month that's another 5, and then another 5, and then 20, and then you will catch things earlier, and it's much better to catch something than to find something, is my way. Would a Siamese alligator be okay in a 20-gallon long tank? Only for a very short... Did I not answer this question last week? I'm sure someone asked me this question last week, or maybe it was a 10-gallon tank last week. Only for a very short amount of time, if it was there to do a job, for instance. But Siamese alligators can get big. They can get proper 6-7 inches, and they are big, fast swimmers. They get around. I have them in my big discus tank, and even now and again I'm looking at them going, I wonder if I should be getting them a bigger tank for that. So yes, they'll be fine for a little while, but not long term, in my opinion. And I'm often wrong, so... Seen some white Anubias, but read they need CO2. White Anubias, I have not seen them before. I'll need to have a look at that afterwards. Limnophilia, heritophilia. Heritophilia. Limnophilia. Experiatum. Takes up most of my tank, says Scott. Yeah, I love plants like that, where they just go out of control and you really need to hack at them and then they just come back again. It just makes me feel like master botanist. Aquarium Shed sent me 99p. Thank you very much. Again, you can't pay me to continue to do the live stream, but I will gratefully accept any and all super chats and memberships and all that kind of stuff. This is not, well, I'm going to pack this in because it's not worth it for me. That's not why I'm saying things like that, so I kind of wish I hadn't said anything now. Ciciflora is the ultimate bomb-proof plant for me, says Brian, and me, exactly. That Graham, he's poo. Go tell him by commenting on all his videos and watching them, because if you comment as angry and you didn't feel good watching the video, YouTubers don't get paid. Yeah, I love negative comments. I love the fact that someone has taken the time to get angry at something that I've not forced them to watch, and then type on the internet, I can't believe this, you've said this, and why are you, blah, 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 blah. You're like, whoa, chill out. I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to say something nasty on his video. Take that. And I sit there and go, thank you for the comment. Do you float your water sprite? I have some floating, I have some planted, I have some kind of hooked under branches and things like that. I've got it in every kind of configuration going, and I've yet to find a way that it won't grow. I've even got a tank that doesn't have a light on it that's still got tons of water sprite in it. Pardon me. I'm looking to silicon slate to the bottom and back of my tank. Yeah, that's a good look. I've seen that tiling tanks was popular for a while back. Yeah, it's quite strange. But yes, thank you, Aquarium Shed. Oh, Phil, any update on Callum's jacket? There you go, Phil. You're having another chase. Ian's got two Zis 300s plus 407 and Eheim on his 350 litre tank. What do you think of the Zissies then, Ian? Has anyone met any big YouTubers? That's a good question. I don't think I've met, well, I probably have met others. I met George Farmer at the Aqua Telford a couple of years ago. He has no recollection of the event, but I was proper fanboying. He was there in his capacity as rep for, I think it was Tetra or something like that. And I was there in my capacity as freebie hunting YouTuber. And I had a bit of a chat with him for a couple of minutes about something. I can't remember what we talked about, but I think it was mostly me going, I love all your planted tanks, they're brilliant. I've met, who else have I met that big in the YouTube game? I've had conversations with lots of big YouTubers. I've had conversations with the King of DIY. I've had conversations with Aquarium Co-op and Korea Aquarium Co-op. Michael's Fish Room, obviously. I've had various chats for him. I host his website for him. Pardon me. Well, Michael at Aaron's Aquarium. I met him down at Telford as well. Yeah, I mean, they are just people. I always cringe a little bit when people like this talk about, oh yeah, we're meeting the fans and all that. I'm like, fans? You're not a rock star. It's not like you're out there creating literary masterpieces or anything like that. You're literally filming fish tanks. We do not deserve fans for filming fish tanks. So that's why I will always call you subscribers or followers, because I don't do anything fan-worthy. Oh, pardon me. Oh, there. Phil has responded about the hoodie. Let me scroll down. Apologies if I miss a question. I will come back to it, or I will ask one of my fantastic moderators to point me at it. I just want to see if there's anything massive. Oh, we've got the treasure hunts working again. Excellent. Right, so we've got to the bottom. We've run an hour in. Time to do a giveaway. What do we say? Time for a giveaway? Let's do a giveaway. Let's find the Wheel of Kaylee. Back in a second. There we go. We've got the Wheel of Kaylee. We now need to find the button that makes it spin. There we go. Right. So let's find out what we win. If you haven't been here before, we like to give away stuff, or Phil does. I like to give away stuff as well. So we've got this wheel here. There. It's going to spin in a little minute, and whatever it lands on, we'll give away. So you've got stickers, which are stickers. Imagine, stickers that are stickers. So we've got the latest version of the stickers, the Mucky Doings. We've got the normal stickery stickers. We've got the I Follow Aquarium Adventure stickers. I do keep reaching out to people to send me more stickers. If you have a channel and you want to be involved in the giveaway, send me some of your stickers and I'll give them away and you'll get a bit of free publicity. So whatever stickers we've got, that's what you'll get. Goodie bag might be some of my other stuff, so some foods maybe, or some tubs or fertilizer bottles or anything else that I happen to sell on the website, or some stickers or whatever. And then we've got hoodies, polos, hats, and I really should read these ones. What is the other ones? And towels. Fantastic towels that I've left in the other room. Towels, I can't believe towels are brilliant. If you haven't got one and you don't win one, go and buy a towel. They're fantastic. So we'll spin this thing by pressing this button and we'll see what you can win. Yeah, I'm always so pleased when that works. That is the purple one, which is Beanie. You win a hat. Right, who's going to win the hat? So the hats. The hats are the Aquarium Adventures logo. I've got a whole bunch of them left. We are due for a bit of a cold snap, so this could come in just handy enough for you. I'll obviously throw in a few stickers and things like that as well. So this is what you're getting tonight. You've got black, blue, or grey. We might not have any grey left, but we've definitely got black and blue. You have your choice of colours. So now we need to go to the other screen. I will get good at this one day. To play, you have to be in the UK. Let me just find the screen. I'll move it over to that one. Transition. There we go. You have to be in the UK. You have to be a member, and you have to click the like button. And then you need to type a word into chat. I haven't decided what the word is yet. Sean's just straight out asking, please give me the hat. You have to win the hat, Sean, or buy it. That's the only way you can get this. Oh, hang on, we've got an outstanding question from Harvey. Let's do that one quickly. Oh, his messages are deleted. Low rhymes with chow. I thought that. I can call you Michael. Thank you. You bought the Nicrew air pump on the back. Yeah, I love all the Nicrew stuff. This is just one rotten apple. I can't find your question, Harvey. Is it what type of heater controllers do I use? If it is, I think that was the last time that's a question. I use homemade ones, effectively. The what they called the STC 1000s. I did make a video on them way back, and if I get a chance, I shall link you to that video. But I got a bunch of them years and years ago. I think they're designed for like home brewing and things like that. But they're bulletproof. They don't go wrong. Right. So, what shall we say? Need a word for you to type into chat. What type of heater controllers do you? Yeah, so the Elitech STC 1000s. If you just go onto my channel and type in heater controller, you'll find the video all about them. I think we're going to make the word beanie. Beanie. Simple as that. So if you want to get one of these fantastic hats that even fit people with massive big heads like me, all you have to do is type Beanie into the chat. You have to, have I got everything right? Mods, regulars, everyone, no extras. You have to click the like button. So I'm hoping I'm going to see the likes go up. And then type Beanie and you can get a beanie. And Phil, this is the one you really want to win because this is the one you didn't make. This will be worth it. Phil keeps winning stickers. I did see another question there while I was looking back. Can you enter if you won stickers last week? Yes. I'll just say if you won like a hoodie or something last week, we don't get to enter this week. But if you won stickers, that's fine. So we'll give you a couple of minutes. 33 eligible users at the moment. I'll just sit back and have a sip. $34. See if you can find my question about angels just laid eggs. Need some help. T. Wallace. Oh, T. Wallace. There must be an easy way to search this. Well, if not, I'll find it in a minute. T. Wallace, idea for the stream, get that guitar down and give us a little chant. Oh, you don't want that. We've done that before. Phil says, explain how something is so green it's almost black to a colourblind person like myself. I too am colourblind. I share that. So I know what you're on about. We have some, I call them green towels, but the rest of the family calls them blue towels. So I'm assuming that wasn't your question about angels, but have I gone back too far now? Oh, sorry. So if you've got angels and want some breeding advice, they're generally the same as discus when it comes to breeding, usually. Right. So 35 users. It hasn't gone up or down recently, so we'll assume that that's it. Are we ready to roll? Are we ready to roll? So I'm going to click this button here, and one of you 35 people that says Beanie, 36 people, well done Gary, just in the nick of time. Last call for anyone else. Jack Crook. Jack, you have won a beanie. Congratulations. Let me get rid of this. Well done, Jack. You just need to reach out to me, and assuming that you live in the UK and are subscribed, I'll send you a beanie and some other stuff. CGB Liams. You really think I'm going to let you win a beanie after calling me an ugly man? Graham, have you seen that new API digital reader for reading water parameters? Looks good, but I get it's expensive. I have seen that. Well, no, I haven't seen it. I've seen other people testing it out. Yeah, I really am. Because of my alluded to colour blindness, I really struggle with colour-based tests. So what I really want is something that's affordable, because previous ones were like thousands of pounds. Something that's affordable that I can put a drop of water on and it'll go, your ammonia reading is whatever, rather than, is that yellow or orange, or how orange is that orange? Because if you look at the API test kits, especially for nitrates, to me 20 to 80 are identical. I have no idea what the hell's going on in there. So that's why I like, for instance, the JBL Pro test kit, because you take a picture of it and it works out what colour it is and it tells you what it is. Because other than that, I'm really just trying to go off variances, because I can't tell what the nitrate reading is by looking at the colour chart. I just know whether it's darker than it was the last week or it's lighter than it was the last week. So I'm really into the digital ones, but I haven't tried one yet because the Hannah checkers and things like that, they were the ones that I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should get them because that would just make it a bit easier. But I've really not found anything easier than as much as people say, oh, dip tests are terrible, there's no point in, you can't rely on them and all that kind of stuff. They've been fantastic. Sometimes they're out a bit, but they're consistently out. So as long as you can do a repeatable way of doing it, you should be okay. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in trying out those ones. So used to the giveaways being for US only. Nice to see it being in the UK only. Yes, unfortunately, most of the big YouTubers are over in the US, and international shipping costs an absolute bleeding fortune. So that's why people don't like shipping internationally. But I'm just as bad, so none of the American people can win this, unless it's stickers. I don't mind sending stickers out to the US or Canada or anywhere like that. So Scott saying, did you see the machine Rachel O'Leary posted a video about? Yes, that again, that's very interesting. Unfortunately only for retailers, but seems pretty cool. It does. But when retailers get these things, if they work and if they work out, eventually they filter down. Yes, as Simon says, Jack, if you send me your address either on Facebook or on email, please put my email address in there for everyone to see. Send me a message, let me know where to send it, and I'll get it sent over. Suggestion for a video from Chow with Lau. Tutorial on how to use a heater controller. I have a Nicrew one, and every time I try to work out how to use it, my head explodes. I have thought about, yeah, that's not a bad idea actually, because there are, the Inkbird heater controllers are quite popular, but I really didn't like them when I tried them, but I noticed they have now got, I think they might even be 2 versions ahead of the ones that I had. I've not tried a Nicrew heater controller, but I did notice the other day when I bought my heater that they also did heater controllers, so I might buy a few of them and give them a bash and see what we think. Mountain Goldfish is in, clocking in late. Don't tell the boss. No worries. Nice to see you again. You've just missed the giveaway. You could have won a hat. Am I a big face? Yep, we're on the big screen. We're okay. Ollie Cam, you had a question, didn't you? It got lost somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Other question was further up, says T. Wallace. So you're going to have to look for it now. You're going to have to repeat it, I'm afraid. I'm now on to Ollie's. I'm going to find Ollie's. I bet you it's about fish shops in Sheffield, isn't it? All your questions are about fish shops in Sheffield, Ollie. Beanie. Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I search through comments. Yeah, giving up. Rob Barry's in as well, as is Lee. Nice to see you. There you go. T-Wells. Angel just laid eggs on the heaters. Any tips? They're looking after the eggs, chasing the other fish away, thinking of moving the heater with the eggs into a bucket with air stones. Don't know what to do. If it's the first time you're getting your angels to lay, and the first time you've noticed eggs, chances are nothing will come of it. Angels, like discus, they need a good few attempts to get things right. And quite often the eggs will be infertile, so if they've just laid eggs on the heater, for now, just monitor it. Just see what happens. Obviously, if all hell breaks loose and they start killing everything else in the tank, yes, do something about it. But I would... The goal is to get the fish to do the raising for you. So you've got to give them a chance at least to do that on their own, because if you try and raise them artificially, it's hard work, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's great, but it's hard. It's quite intensive. The eggs will likely be infertile because it takes a while for the male and the female to get their act together and sort it out. So you're looking for them to get to turn white. If they turn white, they're infertile. If you do I've seen lots of messages. If you get them to keep the eggs for a few days, they'll likely eat them. If they're on a heater, that's just a strange place for them to lay, so you don't really want them to lay on a heater because that's just going to cause you hassle. If they're laying, this could be the start of them consistently laying and forming that bonded pair. So let them do it again, let them do it a few more times, and then maybe think about getting a breeding tank and move the entire pair out into the breeding tank and try them in like an 18-inch cube, something like that, with a slate or a breeding cone or something like that. Let them try it on their own without all the distractions of the rest of the fish in the tank and that kind of thing. Because if they have bred a few times and lost it, I mean, this is very speculative. If they have bred a few times and not quite got there, that does appear to strengthen the bond between the fish. So when you put them in the tank with removing many of the distractions, they have a better chance at it. But that, as a given, if that doesn't work and the eggs are fertilised and you get them to lay on a cone, on a heater, on a slate, whatever it is, in the community tank, and you want to raise them yourself, then yes, by all means, take that thing out, put it into another tank, put it near an air stone so as the air is passing over it, over the eggs, so you don't get any fungus. Maybe add a few drops of methylene blue to aid the removal of fungus and that kind of thing. And take it from there. You should see them get to regular stages. Then you'll need to research things like how to feed them and what to feed them. So often you'll get suggestions of baby brine shrimp and decapsulated brine shrimp eggs, or egg yolk kind of mushed up and left in the water. But it's really difficult to raise fry. It's much, much easier to let the parents raise the fry. So that's where I'm coming from. So where did we get to? Oh dear, sorry Sean, there will be another giveaway. You'll have a chance to win anything if you haven't already gone. Lee Kinsey, did the Felix Smart ever get the updates or features? Now there's a video in the making. It did, and it does. It has got a load more features. It's not got the features that made me buy it. So the Felix Smart, if everyone hasn't heard of it, is a smart aquarium controller. It was marketed as an all singing, all dancing. It would do battery backup. It would do cameras. It would do all kinds of things. So I bought one as an early adopter, as a kind of Kickstarter type thing. And I have one. It's over there right now. That's why I'm looking over there. It's running away. You might be able to see its reflection in the tank behind me, because it has a light that goes back and forward on it. But it's basically a bunch of smart plugs, or that's how it started anyway. But more and more features have been added. If this, then that compatibility has been added. The camera problems have been sorted. The UK version, it has 8 plugs, and that's 2 rows of 4, but they're orientated in a way that you can only plug in 1 row at a time without some convoluted extension block thing to get plugs out of the way of each other. And they promised me, we'll get you a UK version sent out, we're going to have all these new features on it, we're going to get you all this, and they keep telling me that they are going to send it to me, but it's still never arrived. And I've been holding off using it till they send me the proper one, so as I can give it at least a fair shake and a bit of a chance. And it's fine. It's just quite expensive for what it turned out to be. One of the main features I was really interested in was the battery. That it would have a battery backup, so it would keep your things running. And that's obviously missing. But the smart plugs themselves, all that stuff works like a charm. Everything that says it does works like a charm. It does water parameter readings using the Senai stuff. So they've got a partnership with Senai, and there's more partnerships promised in the future. So it's still definitely got potential. But it was a bit of the timing wasn't great either, with the worldwide pandemic at the same time. It was a bit of a damp squib. But yeah, I've still got high hopes that it will come good one day. Yeah, as Welsh Week says, I think the Felix Smart was a bit of an epic fail. Maybe not an epic fail, but definitely a fail. Any ideas of making discus less skittish? Mine hide all day but only come out for food in the evening. Lights on from 2 in the afternoon until 11ish. In my experience, getting them to be less skittish is hard unless you can spend a lot of time with them, in front of them, messing around in the tank. If you can add maybe some ditherfish, if you haven't got any, but I did have ditherfish with one set of discus I kept, and they were still quite skittish. The idea behind ditherfish is that the discus being quite a large fish comparatively, if you add a bunch of tetras, for instance, the discus sees the tetras and goes, well, if they're out and about, nothing's eating them, I can come out and about, and they'll do it like that. That sometimes works. Sometimes something as simple as changing the layout in the tank and moving things around just gets them to kind of do a bit of a hard reset and go, oh, right, so we are allowed out here, we will come out here. Things like that to try. My number one suggestion is get more discus, because in bigger numbers and bigger groups, they're more confident and they spend more time out. Ollie, I'm looking for an internal filter for my 240 litre tank just to support the external filter. Any suggestions on what to get? Okay, so if you've got an external filter already and you're just wanting something extra, depending on the tank, so if you've got a lovely planted tank or something like that, you're not really going to want to just stick an air filter in there. But in my opinion, air filters are kind of the number one go-to extra filter. So you get that extra bit of biological filtration, a little bit of mechanical filtration, and you get some bubbles that will break the surface of the water and aid that gas exchange in your aquarium as well. Other than that, but they are a big thing that might spoil the look of your aquarium. Other than that, I'm just not a fan of internal filters, so I've not really tried that many. I've tried the Interpet ones because I keep getting given them. They're fine, but they just, and the Stingray ones, fine. I'm just not a fan of internal filters in general. If I want something that's just going to move water around down there, like I say, if I can get away with it, I'll use a sponge filter. If I can't get away with it, I'll just use a power head that will just move the water in a direction that I want to get. But if you have space or can hide it or it doesn't spoil it, I would just go with an air filter, a sponge filter rather. Welcome to all the late arrivals. Yes, thank you. So hopefully that answers your question. Sean's off. YouTube sucks, 15 minutes behind. Sorry about that. Liam's is being naughty. He's been given a timeout. So, T. Wallace already put in a slate slab. Will leave and keep an eye on. Excited to have my first breeding pair learning about brine shrimp hatching at Dean's Fish Room. Yeah, he's got lots of good information about that. Welsh Weeks. Graham, have you done any videos on breeding live food for fish? Oh, there's a question. I've done a few videos on hatching brine shrimp. I did consider at one point having like a guppy breeding thing to feed pufferfish, but then my conscience took over and couldn't do it. But breeding live food in terms of like worms and things like that, I've done a few videos on worms and I've kept them a few times, and they are a great food for most fish. If you can get your own worm culture going. So that sort of thing, yeah, I've got a few videos on them, but yeah, that might be another idea of a future video to do. Breeding the food rather than the fish. I mean, a lot of this hobby is finding a good food. If you can feed your fish well and give them lots of things that they need, they usually will do the rest themselves. Oh, we're having another heist. I really will need to integrate heists somehow. Jab says, I really just bought the Felix Smart for the Night Rider light. You're not all that far wrong. I think I did a live stream of me buying it, and I flat out admitted that I'm only buying this because it's got a light that goes whoom, whoom. It doesn't even go whoom, whoom. It just goes silently. I add the noise myself every time I look at it. Ooh. Phoenix says, I'm getting a 300 litre next weekend, which I want to have an Oscar in it. What other cichlids would you recommend keeping in the tank? Also, I've talked about this a few times before. Oscars are one of my... I don't know why I say they're a dream fish, because they're quite easy to get a hold of. But I've never kept Oscars, so I would really like to keep Oscars. Obviously, they are pretty big fish, and a 300 litre tank is a pretty big tank, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big. So your options are going to be a little bit limited, because an Oscar in a 300 litre tank is kind of getting up there. So you might want to have a couple of Oscars and think, oh, I'll get a couple of Firemouths or Jack Dempseys or something like that. And you'll very, very quickly be overstocked, and it'll just be a nightmare trying to keep on top of it. So I'm not sure what else you might want to keep in with that. But again, big cichlids, they're not really... I don't have a wealth of experience in them, so take that with a pinch of salt, let's say. Ciao with Lau, how's your Mibu? Dead. Sorry. I have a Fahaka growing fast on earthworms and Colombian ramshorn snails. Colombian ramshorn snails? I've not heard of Colombian ones before. Yeah, I had a Fahaka, it died. I had a Mibu, it died. It's one of those things that really got to me, because I've got no bloody idea why they died. They're kind of two of my favourite fish of all time, and yeah, it really hits you hard when one of your favourites dies and you have no explanation for why it's died. But Fahakas, they will grow fast. If you feed them well on earthworms and snails, that's a cracking diet for them. Best of luck for that. Harvey says, any updates on the discus tank and discus in general? Any discus breeding yet? No, and I've kind of put a lid on the discus breeding because of the impending house move. I'm trying to break down tanks at the moment rather than set up extra ones. But the discus tank itself is fine. Everything's happy, everything's going along well. It looks really good at the moment, actually. Maybe I'll just do another discus video. They're always popular. I'll show you that going on. But yeah, the tank itself's great. All the fish are looking great. And the plants, like I say, are growing well. It's just kind of spot on. I'm really happy with it at the moment. Also, I was going to mention the house move. So I've sold this house. This house is now gone. Well, sold subject to contract. We got an offer during the week, or last week. No, during this week it must have been. But unfortunately, there's no houses to buy. So I'm in a bit of a sticky situation where we've sold this one. We've got nowhere to go. So I've got a couple to view next week that literally came on the market today, which we can go and have a look at. Both with nice double garages for a nice big fish room. So that'll be quite nice. And then when we finally get to a new house and get a new fish room, I can get a bunch of new tanks, and I can get Oscars, and I can get another puffer fish, and I'm so excited about that side of things. I'm really anxious about the actual move, because I've got no idea how I'm going to move all these tanks. But that's why I'm trying to break everything down, says the man who bought 100 and odd fish in the last month. I'm trying to slow down. So if you want to buy any fish, jump on the website. I'll sell you a bunch of endlers and a bunch of bristlenose plecos and cherry shrimp and anything else you want to buy just to help me out. But yeah, we have a couple of ideas of how to move tanks. But you know, anyone in Sheffield that wants to give me some space in their garage, get in touch. Superfish Aquaflow XL is a cracking internal filter, says Noodle Sandwich. Lots of room for media. Pond Guru did a pimp my filter on it. There you go. That's a good shout. You can go and have a look at the filter on Pond Guru's channel and see what you can get on with it. 64 watching and 46 likes. Is that still the case? Let's have a... Oh, wrong one. 69 watching, 70 watching, and 48 likes. So if you're here, give me a little like. That would be lovely. Pardon me. Now I've lost the screen. There we go. Right, sorry, I've skipped away up to the top. Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Graham, did you see Nvidia did a YouTube video where they made Knight Rider using AI? I did not. I'm going to have a look for that one. Maple Street Aquatics. Hello yourself. We normally come to you after this. Nice to see you in here. Phil been doing subtle plugs. Oh, thank you very much, Phil. Good food from Aquarium Adventures. Yeah, food. I don't mind moving the food though. I won't kill that by moving it. But yeah, you're welcome to buy some food. Well, maybe we'll give some away. Should we do another giveaway? What do we think? Jennifer says, I had a Mazda 323 because it was the nearest I could afford. That kit and the A-Team van, they were the ones that I wanted to recreate once I got my driving license. House News Weekly. Yes, we definitely get it. How's the black ghost knife fish doing, Graham? I had assumed it was dead. To be completely honest, I thought, I've not seen this in a couple of weeks. Where the hell is it? And its usual hiding place was empty. But luckily, it has just made itself a new hiding place. It's still there, still happy as Larry, still absolutely ginormous. It's well over a foot now. Still a big bumbling idiot. Just destroyer of aquascapes, I call it. But yes, it's excellent. Blake's Aquatic says, good day, congrats on the 11111. I'm sure 11111111 will come in no time. Well, that would be nice, but I think that'll take a long time. 22222 will be the next one. I think that's probably a fair way away as well. Summon an army of followers to assist with the move. Well, do I have an army that's Sheffield adjacent? Could come and help me out with the move, definitely. Oh, where did I see that? How do you breed bristlenose plecos? So, in my experience, Harvey, you breed bristlenose plecos by having bristlenose plecos, add the water, and wait. So, as long as they've got somewhere that looks a little bit like a cave, they generally will do it themselves eventually. Question about brine shrimp from Welsh Weeks. Oh, so I missed that one. My mouse wheel's go slippy as well. It's not scrolling back up. Where did it say that? Have you done any? Oh, there's that. They're breeding live. Oh, how far out am I? Yeah, as SL30 says, put a boy and a girl in water with a cave and then babies will come eventually. Yes, definitely. Ollie says, do you sell plants? Sometimes. Generally, I only sell plants that I have too many of. So when my tanks get out of control and I do clippings and things like that, I'll sell them. And I have more tanks than plants at the moment, so I've not got any extras. I did look into buying plants, but no one will sell them to me, so... You know, from like the big aquifers or Tropica and places like that. Tropica will only sell plants to people who are VAT registered. You need to be earning like 80 grand a year to make it worth registering for VAT. Risk it for a biscuit. Where? Let's get hard to read. Hope you get a house with a room for a pond in the garden. I've kept fish for 40 years and the pond gives me so much pleasure. Pond is definitely on the cards. I would already have a pond if we hadn't decided to move house this year, because that was my goal, was to get a pond done by spring. But there's obviously no point building a pond at this house to then move weeks later. Sorry for going off topic, but what microphone are you using? I use a Rode Go for shooting videos, but I need one to connect directly to my computer for voiceovers. So this particular one is a Neewer NW700. It's a basic cheapy one, but I run it through a Behringer Xenix. What's that called? A QX1202 mixing desk thing, which makes this sound half decent. This on its own, even with phantom power, garbage. but run it through a proper mixer, not bad. But for recording on your computer, did you say you had a Rode Go? You should still be able to use that to record on your computer. I quite often just use my where's it gone? I use my Rode Wireless Go to record most of my videos when I'm moving around with my camera. And I've used this on my computer as well to do like additional bits of voiceover and stuff, but this is here most of the time, so 9 times out of 10 I'll just use this. Streamlabs ignoring you, Courtney. That's nothing I've done. So yeah, that's another video idea, because literally this week I must have had about 6 people ask me, what camera do you use? What microphone do you use? Have you got any lights? How do you edit? What editing software do you use? So I might make a how to shoot fish tanks video. Do a deal with Corey at the co-op. Yeah, again, the importation thing. It's just, it would take too long to get them here from America. It costs too much to get them here from America in any great quantity. But I will pick up on plants again next year. No, well, maybe even this year, depending on how many tanks I can get and how quickly I can get them. Right, we're going to do one more giveaway. What do we think? Everyone up for that? Unless you've been rude in the comments. I reserve the right to refuse to send someone a prize if they've been a knob. Right, so we'll cancel that. We're going to do, let's bring back the wheel of misfortune. Kaylee, wake up! Time for a prize. Bring back the wheel. Summer tubbing, yes, that's another thing I think I'll get when I get a bit of a bigger garden. Hopefully something that's got some sun as well. Summer tubbing might be a thing. Definitely for like white clouds and things like that. I'd really like to get a whole bunch of that. I think they're fantastic fish. Right, we've got this wheel back. Let's click the button. Where do we find the button? What can we win? What can we win? It's exciting. The green one, which is a towel. Excellent. Everyone needs a towel. Towels are fantastic. So, can you guess what will make the word? Sorry, I'm just laughing at Courtney now. I've no idea why it's not working for you, but I love it when people get upset about things. What do you think of keeping white cloud mountain minnows in a largish 340 litre community tank running at 23 degrees? Should be fantastic. I really, 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 really like white clouds. They're really one of my favourites. No cock about, all clear to enter. Excellent. All the knobs have gone. Right, so for a towel, I want you to go over and what do I want you to do? I've lost my train of thought now. People keep sending me messages on Facebook. What's going on? We'll get there in the end. Come on, brain. Click in. That's what we want you to do. So we've got 70 concurrent. 70? God, the pubs are open and everything. We've got 70. That's pretty good. I think the record was something like 101. I think we've got over 100 once. So 70. An hour and 40 minutes into the stream. That's pretty good. But only 54 likes. So let's have a few more likes, please. Rules. For a towel. Live in the UK. Be a subscriber. Have not won a decent prize last week. Click like. Subscribe. Have I said subscribe? Go and watch a video. Stand on one leg. Do a twirl. Promise to watch all. Right, okay. Let's just go on with it. The word that I want you all to type into the chat when I find the chat space again is. I really wanted to make it knob, but I can't. No, we can't do that. The word that we're going to go. In fact, let me switch to that right screen. I'm going to make it more difficult this time. Subscribe. The word is going to be subscribe. Let me SUBSCRIBE. Subscribe. Yes. Graham, I need help with brown algae. Oh, don't we all? Blackout. That's what you want to do. Phoenix could do with a new towel. Well, type the word subscribe into the chat and you might get one. Make it Streamlabs. I should have done, shouldn't I? God. Oh no, why is all the messages being held for review? Okay, this isn't working. This is a cluster beep. So for some reason, Streamlabs is holding all these comments saying subscribe. I think it's because subscribe must be a dodgy word. Right, cancel. Stop. Right, cancel. The word is not subscribe. I take it back. We have a technical error, people. The word will be Streamlabs. STREAMLABS. Yeah, sorry. I think it's like a spam filter to stop people saying, please subscribe to my channel. So it's not going to count that as a word. So that was a terrible word to choose. So instead, we're going to go with Streamlabs. That's what we want to do. Streamlabs. Abort. Yeah, quite right. Yeah, thank you, Danny. Need to use a different word. There we go. Streamlabs. That's working much better. So I saw someone there saying, have I ever kept any Corys? And the answer is yes, I have kept Corys. And I do keep Corys at the moment. I have about 4 of the shyest thereby Corridoras in the universe left in my big discus tank. I really want to get loads more, and when we move, I'm going to get that tattooed on my forehead. Once we've moved, I'm going to get at least a thereby Corridora breeding setup going, because they're a fantastic fish for keeping with discus. But there's some other awesome big, small, all kinds of Corys out there that I'm really interested in and really like keeping them. Pardon me. So we'll definitely be keeping some Corys when we get into the new place and get the new fish room up and running. Pardon me. Oh, Rob's late to the party. The word is not subscribe. The word is Streamlabs. We have 38 eligible users. Let me just see if it's counting Courtney as an eligible user. Can't see her anywhere. Oh yeah, no, it's count. So you're allowed to enter the competition with Streamlabs. Aquarium Adventures. If I'm planning on setting up a Dutch style aquascape, I could provide you with some plants. Yeah, well, I'm more than happy to take donations from anyone, whether it be plants, fish. Yeah, more the merrier. I'm waiting on some beautiful gold-coloured Corys. Can't remember the name. Is it the gold lasers? Is it, or the green lasers I'm thinking of? Shadex is making offers. What's this about? I have about 60 plus thereby eggs waiting to hatch. How many do you need? As many as you've got. Once I moved house. Stairbys are definitely my favourite because they're one that generally will tolerate or be happy in the warmer temperatures that discus like. Although I've often kept the albino ones, which are your kind of bog standard bronze, but the albino variant of them. Orange lasers, that's the ones I was thinking of. Or Venezuelans, are they not the black ones? I thought they were. Or gold Venezuelans, I guess. Sorry, I'm jumping about from one thing to another. What was I on about? Stairbys being my favourite because I'm a discus keeper and I want to keep them with the discus. But yeah, I like lots of different types as well. Right, I think we're good to go. 39 eligible users. Last chance. Type in Streamlabs if you haven't already. We're going to click that button. And Rob Crossland. You have won a towel. Why did I recognise that name? Did you win the other one as well? I don't know. Rob Crossland. Maybe I've sent you some stickers or something, or have you ordered from me before? Is that why I recognise your name? Well, congratulations, Rob. You've won. I think we said it was a towel, wasn't it? Let's go back to my big face. Yes, towel. Let's turn off that and go back to my big face. So, smaller cories, other than pygmy ones. Well, obviously pygmy ones are the smaller ones. I mean, I've only ever really kept some, what are the ones that begin with a T that were quite rare? And always confused with the ones that begin with a J. Welcome to Graham Loses His Mind, live on stream. Is it Julii and Trilly that are always... I'm going to have to look this up. Julii, or Trillinatus, yeah. I ended up with a bunch of both of them years and years ago. Really liked them. I've kept the normal bronze ones, I've kept the albino ones, I've kept Stairbye ones. I've never actually kept the pygmy ones, or any of the fancier ones like your Venezuelans or things like that. But I read a book or a paper or some kind of publication by... I'm going to get the guy's name wrong now. A guy called Ian, very famous in the world of corridoras. I can't remember what the name was now, but I read that and it got me proper hooked into all the variations between them and the such similar fish having such different diets and things like that. Yeah, it was quite interesting. So panda cories might be something I could be interested in because they are small and I like things that are small. I quite like the nano things as well. Ian Fuller, that's the one, that's the name. Yes. What did I say his name was? So Rob, congratulations. Send me an email, drop me a message on Facebook or Twittergram, or any of those mediums. Let me know your details and we'll get you a towel over. You might even be one of the first to receive the much lauded Mucky Doings towel. Right, we've got 10 minutes or so to go before my bladder explodes, no doubt. Mind you, I've only got through 2 beers. Maybe we could go a bit longer. Does the winner of a heist get a prize? Now, there's an idea. Why don't we do... Right, someone start a heist now, and the winner of the heist... Or is the heist the one that goes on all night? I can never remember how these things work. The winner of a heist will get stickers. We'll send some stickers to someone who's the winner of the heist. Panda Corys, that was the ones I was trying to think of when I was talking about the small ones as well. I said Ian something. Yeah, I was close then. Ian Fuller. Yeah, so I can't even remember where. I think it might have been on that Furthering Freshwater Fish Keeping group that it was really good. I will try and find it, and if I find it, I will post a link to it either on my Twitter or something like that. Do people find the live chat is ahead of the video? When people are congratulating someone in the chat before the draw happens on my screen, it really kills the excitement for you. I am sorry about that. Sometimes that does happen. The chat, so there is a delay, because what I'm saying now, even people with the fastest internet connections won't hear for another, I think it's about a minute. So quite often when I'm drawing things in real time and saying things, for instance, Nightbot and me are on the same time zone. So even before you see me click the roll it button, it will tell you who the winner is. So I apologise. So is that a good idea? Does that work? If someone wins this house, I'll send them some stickers. Someone's going to need to tell me who wins the house, because I've got no idea how the bloody thing works. I'm just watching this now because I'm interested to see how these things work. Brian says, I keep Stirby and Duplicatus. Duplicatus? I'm going to have to look up that word. I do not know that word. Oh, they're quite nice. Corridorus duplicaris. They are... Oh, I can show you a picture. That's what they look like. They look like that. They're quite fancy. Oh, I think I might have to look into them. Thank you for pointing them out. I don't think I've ever heard of them. Where do we get to? Nightbot's telling you all to subscribe. So Nightbot's allowed to tell you to subscribe. What do we do in the treasure hunt? I have no idea. How's the house hunting going? Asks Carrie. So we did talk about that a bit earlier. It's not going well. There are no houses to hunt. I've sold my house, so I need to find one. So this place is sold, but I haven't found anywhere else to go yet. I've got a couple of options. One which is a bit of a maybe, and one which looks really nice. So no doubt will already be sold by the time we get there. CW10 gold laser. Oh, let's have a look at that one. Pardon me. Yes, that's the laser ones I was thinking of. They do look a bit special, don't they? I wish you great success with them. Oh, I've just seen one down there called albino gold lasers, which just look like albinos. Look at that, these colours are fantastic. Yeah, hope you do well with them. So how's this heist coming along? I can't see the chat at the moment. So there's 9 winners. How does that work? So, results. Rocky's Rocky 20, Jennifer 64, SL 30, 80, Scott 100, Courtney 100. So does that mean Scott and Courtney have won? Because they've got the biggest number? Or does that mean all those people have won? Oh, Shadex and Carrie also have 100. No. What? Tell you what, if you want some stickers, send me a message and I'll send you some stickers. I haven't heard best price for a while. We've replaced best price with mucky doings. No, we still have best price as well, somewhere. I haven't had any opportunity to... I haven't had any opportunity to use best price in a while because I haven't been selling anything on anywhere. I'm going to have to start doing it again. What is going on with this heist business? How do you... What... Right, I'm just going to stare at the screen with my mouth agog for a while, so please don't screenshot this. Is someone... Are we ignoring you, Kez? I didn't see a question or anything from you. Do you have to be a member to join a treasure hunt? Right. No, you don't. No, you don't have to be a member. All you do is have to understand how these bleeding things work. So someone, I think, shouts heist, and then other people can also shout heist by typing in !heist, and then you type in a number, which is the amount of points you want to risk on the heist, and then some people will win the heist, and they get to double their points, is it? And then some people lose the heist, and they lose all their points. So it was probably a bad idea to say, I'll give stickers to everyone that's in the heists. Scott seems to have a handle on this, so I think we're all going to have to defer to Scott. You see how many points you want to risk on the heist, and if you win it doubles the points. If you lose the points. Okay. Points for a heist are maxed at 50. Although, didn't some people do more than that? So, has anyone decided who won? Did 11 people win, or did someone get more points than someone else? Or how does that work? Should I just give everyone some stickers? Welcome to the Aquarium Adventures livestream, where we all sit and stare puzzled. Jennifer's after some leggings to go with her polo. Don't know, do you do leggings? Phil says she's never been asked that one before. Captain Cupcake's here. Welcome, Captain Cupcake. We have no idea what's going on. We're all trying to figure out how heists work. I heisted 10, but I got 16. How does that work? Give us points instead. It's just people. Right, Scott says, basically 11 people won because they got higher points, said they wanted to risk more, so it really depended how many points people wanted to risk. Make sense? No. Right. Void that. The heists are just for fun until I understand how heists work. Or is there another game that we could play that would determine like 1 or 2 winners? I don't know. Right. Forget the heist thing. That's clearly not going to work. Same as every Friday. It's not the same as every Friday. Last Friday we were talking about noodle sandwiches and things like that. But still no idea what's going on. But that bit's the same. Granted. What we're going to do is one last giveaway of just stickers by asking for stickers, basically. So let's get rid of that. I Spy. That might work better. So Scott's saying, if I said heist 50, I'd risk 50 and could get 100. But if someone said heist 10, they'd only get 20 back max. So maybe what we need to do is, like, next week, we clear the decks of all the points. I'll give everybody in the chat that turns up on time or something like that, we'll give them all 50 points. And then whoever's got the most points at the end of the stream will win a thing. A hat or some food or a goodie bag or a polo or something along those lines. Does that make sense? And then you can run heists all the way through. And at the end of the stream, whoever gets the most points wins. Right, I've decided that's what we're doing. Scott, does that make sense? Will that work? You need to let me know. Until then, if you want to win some stickers, all you have to do is live in the world, doesn't matter where, and type the word... Hey, no, actually is that too much? Type the word heists are dumb into the chat. If you want some stickers, we're going to draw 3 winners, so 3 people get a chance to win this one. If you want to, just email me and I'll send you some stickers, but this is a bit more fun. So, heists are dumb. Type that in the chat. Pardon me. HEISTSAREDUMB. Heists are dumb. We'll do it properly next week. We'll clear the decks and start from a point of a baseline, so everyone's on the same page when we start next one, and then we will run heists as many times as you want, or can convince people to do it, and then give away a prize at the end. Scott says he'll message me tomorrow. Yeah, I might change that, but we will explain the rules next week. There we go. Heists are dumb. People are getting it. The sticker giveaway can be worldwide. Doesn't matter where you live. Just have to be on the world somewhere. Scott has a good idea. Yes, Scott, she'll catch up and we'll try and figure something out. All one word, Rob. Heists are dumb, or it won't count. Oh, someone started a heist in the middle of the heists are dumb. That's just going to get confusing, surely. New stickers. There are some new stickers. So we've got Mucky Doings stickers to go with the new towels. Mucky Doings. We've got the normal ones, the Aquarium Adventures. Sorry, normal ones. We've got the I Follow Aquarium Adventures stickers. Always nice. We've got Best Price, as always. We've got some little tiny Aquarium Adventure stickers. And I think that's it. We might have some more, but that might be it. Oh, a different Scott. Oh, sorry, other Scott. I might not have seen that one. Scott Turner had a good idea, maybe. Scott Turner, what are you saying? We all send a picture of our aquarium setup and you pick a handful of winners next Friday. Oh, that might be too much pressure for me. How can I... Oh. Yeah, why not? That sounds like fun too. That could be another one. So what I'll do then... So, other Scott, let's talk about heists and how we can incorporate that into the stream. That Scott, yes, I shall post a message on my social medias inviting people to send in pictures of their aquarium setup, and I will pick some winners. So we'll do a heist or something based competition. We'll do the I get to be a dictator and pick a pick a picture winners. We'll do the Kaylee Wheel of Misfortunes and pick a winner. That's that 3 giveaways next week. That sounds good, doesn't it? That should be good. Right, we've got 21 eligible users so far. What else is it? Is that the right, Scott? Oh, Bob's in. Killers Aquatics just made bail. Sorry. Oh dear, that sounds bad. He's innocent, he says. So it doesn't matter what you did then if you're innocent. Heists are dumb, heists are done. Humphrey stickers in the Murphy of Aquarium co-op style. Maybe. Right, I think we've got everyone, haven't we? And I think my bladder has got maybe a minute or 2 left in it, so we can draw this. So we'll do 3 sets of stickers. Good luck, everyone. First winner is Lee Shrubsole. Lee Shrubsole. I keep forgetting to do this. I've got to note down the timestamps of the giveaways. So how this works is tomorrow I come to the computer and then scan through all the whole live stream looking for the bits where I did the giveaways so as I can figure out who I need to send things to. Very important, if you win anything, you need to tell me, send me an email, send me a message, otherwise I forget and it all goes horribly wrong. So Lee Shrubsole, congratulations Lee, you have won some stickers. And who else? Welsh Weeks, you have won some stickers. One more. Courtney Smith, you have won some stickers. Congratulations, everyone. Well done, everyone. I hope you like the stickers. As soon as we get some details off you, I think I've got some of your details. I will send you some stuff. Yes, as Simon says, all the winners, if you ever win anything on this, send me your details and I will send you some stuff. And if you happen to be married to Callum, you might get a pot noodle or some taped-based present as well. Well done, everyone. Right, last couple of minutes. Anyone got any final questions before we... Oh, we could... Have we got anyone we can raid tonight? What do you think? Press the wrong button. Oh. That's not the button I meant to press. Oh, I should really stop saying things like, right, we're almost done, because it's just gone down from 75 concurrent viewers to 55. I should really do a secret giveaway for people that stay right to the end, shouldn't I? Might do that as well. Shh, don't tell anyone. For loyal subscribers, you get an extra giveaway. Why is YouTube not loading for me? There we go. So Maple Street Aquatics is currently live. They've got 16 viewers. I think, seeing they stopped in with us, we should pop over and see them. But let's do one more giveaway just for the folk that have stayed for the last couple of minutes. I think we can fit one in. And this one will be a hat, because I've got a few hats. I just want you to just type in the chat, still here. I want you to type in the chat, still here. Just like that. STILLHERE. Give it a couple of minutes. And we'll send you a beanie, send you a hat. And then if you could all go and jump onto Maple Street Aquatics and say hello at least. You don't have to stay around all evening, I know it's late. It's nice when you only have a few viewers and you get a whole bunch jump over. Oh, Andy's checking in. No news yet then, Andy? Looking likely it will be early morning. Ah, well. Good things come to those who wait, is that what they say? Secret giveaway, yes, that's what we're doing. Right, I think, have we got that many? 25 eligible users? Let's give it another minute or two. I've got another beer sat here. I think if I open it, it might drive my bladder into insanity. Let's see. Ooh. It's very tasty though, that's why. 27. 28 eligible users. God, there's still a few. Right, let's give it another minute then. Was there any more questions? Rob says, I've got a 400 litre tank, not sure if I should put Mbuna or Discus. You don't really need to ask that question. How active are Discus? I like the idea of Mbuna swimming around all the time. Mbuna are way more active. Discus do swim around, but they are often just look like they're floating in air. They don't do much other than say, look at me and how pretty I am. Aren't I serene? Aren't I glorious? And that's why I would say Discus. But yeah, there is an allure of a busy fish tank and always moving and also very colourful usually. So if I get a vote, it's for Discus because they are fantastic and my favourite. But yeah, I can see why Mbuna wouldn't be bad either. Right, secret giveaway. Time for that. And then we're all going to go and head over to Maple Street Aquatics. And then I can go and do some... What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I've got some fish rooms to feed. New merch. I need a pee towel. Pee break and I can put the kettle on. No one wants to sit and listen to me ramble on for another hour. Let's do this final draw. 3, 2, 1. Skinzarno, congratulations, you have won the giveaway. Send me a thing and then send me your address and I will send you a thing. Hi Sardom Aquarium Analytic, but we will figure it out one day. Wild or domestic Discus best to keep? That's your taste, really. Wilds are wild, domestic are distant. So the wilds are generally drabber colours, but still very exquisite patterns and very cool things. Obviously, your domestics are your bright colours. Well done, Skinzarno. Shadex needs a beanie because his wife's COVID haircuts are a little rough. Oh, I need to do one myself tomorrow. Get that sorted out. And if you need a beanie and you didn't win one tonight and you're desperate, by all means, jump on the Aquarium Adventures website and buy yourselves one. Right, big face. There we go. Pardon me. Right, someone stick a link in the description. We are going to go over and say hello to everyone at Maple Street Aquatics, and then I'm going for a pee.